here's the video review for the Transformers Robots in Disguise Minicon Deployer Fracture. As you can see, he turns into a motorcycle like he does on the show. This time he's got the little sidecar with Airazor in it. I think it's, yeah, Airazor. It comes with him. And, yeah, here he is in vehicle mode. He does have a couple little wheels on the bottom to help roll. A little wheel over here. And he's, like I said, he's a hovercycle. He's got a sidecar. And basically the sidecar exists to deploy the Minicons. We saw the Minicons the other day. Airazor is the one that comes with Fracture. And they launch out. And one of the things that's cool is you can launch any of the other ones as well. And you can actually stick them in there and with all their accessories on. Like I said, if there's Airazor without them, we'll show his accessories in a minute. But if you want to get Dragonus in there, there he is with all of his accessories attached. And he still comes out and launches just fine. It is a spring-loaded mechanism. And I was, like I said, when I first saw these, I was kind of hoping, I thought the point was that these things would launch, and when they launched, they would deploy themselves, they would transform, as we saw the other night. That is not the case. You do have to manually transform them, which, on the one hand, is kind of cool, because it's not an automorph gimmick, but combined with the launcher, I thought that might have been neat. Because, like I said, the launcher works fairly well. And here's Dive Bomb again. Oh, yeah, that's the thing with Dive Bomb. That's why this mask piece flips down on Dive Bomb, because you need to flip that forward when you put him in the launcher. And that allows him to keep his armor on, which is nice. Of course, if you do it wrong, or if something isn't tabbed in all the way, it will just fly off like that. Which is probably why it's not a great idea to launch all this stuff with their accessories on, especially if they are known to be loose. But you can do it. But yeah, so you flip his piece forward. And then he can sit in there with all of his stuff on and launch from the thing. That's what that little flip-up mask is for. Stay on there, little piece. What's weird is that piece is actually usually on there pretty sturdily. I don't know why it's flying off now. So yeah, so you can do that. You can launch it. It's just a basic push-button gimmick here in vehicle mode. Now to transform, we'll go ahead and transform Fracture first. And these are actually a little bit more involved than I expected from these things. You lift up this panel, fold it up back into his chest there. Untab the arms. Come here. This one's on there really good. Come on, arm. Come off. Man. And this arm does not want to come loose. Well, that's the first time that's happened. Okay, there we go. Get his arm out. Then untab this. You can see this kind of tabs in right here. Untap his legs, bring him down, take his feet. And the feet, they actually do click into place. So you want to make sure they're flat. And then you split the legs like that. And then his shoulder pads fold down onto his arm. They fold out and then down onto his arm. And there he is in robot mode. Now, somebody asked, the launcher pieces do not come off unless you knock out a pin, because they are pinned in here. And part of that is because of the gimmick of how they work and they launch. You'll notice, like, this hand is facing forward, and this hand can hold a 5mm weapon. It does have a peg for that. This other hand is flat, and I was kind of disappointed in that until I realized how the gimmick works. Now, this arm is fully posable. It goes out side to side. Well, not fully posable, but, it goes forward, it goes side to side. There's no elbow joint. There is a knee joint and a hip joint here. And like I said, a little bit of foot motion. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of posability in the robots themselves. But how it works, the reason this hand is sculpted the way it is you can take Airazor. Now, normally, Airazor would be one of these little pods on his shoulder blades and launch out of there. But because the toy doesn't work that way. But if you have a Airazor or any of the other Minicons in here, there's a lever on his back here that you push down. This is why they all have big feet. And basically how it works, basically this is how it works. You push down on that lever, and his arm goes forth. It points as he launches the Minicon, so it's kind of an action gimmick. Let's see if I can do this in a way that shows it off. But as you push that down, the launcher swings forward. Yeah, and launches Airazor. It's usually a little bit more impressive than that when my thumb doesn't get in the way. Again, if you're messing with these normally, that's not a problem. When you're reaching around a camera and trying to get all this done from behind the scenes, it's a little bit tougher. But basically, yeah, you just push this down, and it's easier on drift too. There you go. And it launches him. I didn't know if he was on camera at the time. launches him off the table in this case. The problem when the whole gimmick is send something flying. But yeah, so let's push down the lever and it'll launch the Minicon. One more time for the cheap seats. Nope, I'm not. My finger's not on the lever, my finger is on his wheel. There we go. Well, now something's jammed. What's jammed? Is it his leg? Is his leg? Okay, there we go. Must have been his leg. Drift has the same problem, and we'll talk about that in Drift's review. Yeah, push this down. There we go. And it launches. Again, a lot easier when you're not doing it at arm's length, but that's the basic gimmick there. So let's get his feet locked in and get him to stand up here. And we'll focus on Airazor, because Airazor again transforms. You open this up, open his arms up, which reveals his face and splits his legs. He does actually have front and back legs. He's four-legged. And his front legs do have a little bit of posability to him, so you can bring him out a little bit. He also comes with the sprue of armor parts, again shaped like a Decepticon symbol. And those go on, put these little flames on the front. And then this piece, this is the one that goes on his back leg. It's got a weird little shape to it. But these go on his back legs. And he's got a couple little wings for his arms. A chest piece that plugs into these little gaps up here on either side of his chest. Like that, and then he actually has a little unicorn horn here that plugs into his forehead. And there's his Energon armor. I don't know if these pieces go or work with the Energon animals that the waves, Wave 1 is formed. Maybe you can find a place to stick these on somewhere. Maybe these will go on the Wave 2 Shark, I don't know. I don't think so, but it's possible, I guess. So yeah, there he is all armored up. And again, just like the others, if you transform him back into his torpedo form, he can actually launch out of here with this. Now, because he, in this situation, well, will he actually come down? Yeah, actually, it looks like he will make clearance. I was worried maybe he wouldn't because of that fin, but yeah. So you can launch him out of there with all of his stuff attached. So there he is in torpedo form with all of his weapons attached. So yeah, that's the basic deployer's gimmick. I think Drift overall is a little better than Fracture, but we'll show off Drift in his video review. And Drift, like I said, this arm doesn't move much because it's part of the spring gimmick to launch this, but it does have that same outward movement as the other. So yeah, there is. So as far, I don't have Wave 2. I'm looking for Wave 2 with Ratbat and Sandsting and Beastbox and Velociraptor. But there he is with all of his Minicons that are out to date. Yeah, nifty little toy. Like I said, I think Drift is the better of the two. But I think Drift is the better of the two overall. I think Fracture's alt mode works a little better with the launcher as a sidecar versus just kind of shoving it in the front of the car like Drift does. But not bad. These are $19.99 at Target. And like I said, they include Fracture and Airazor coming together in a set.